And a good Sunday morning to you. This is Jim Seneca inside the FingerLakes1.com studios. It's Sunday, December 8th, 2013, and we are about 6 days away from one of the biggest events in Seneca Falls. It's a Wonderful Run 5K, and last year there was 3,200 or so racers. Well, this year they're expecting more than 4,000 runners, so you can imagine there's going to be a few things that you should be aware of, some changes, and we've got tons of information for you this morning from the organizers on this year's event for both participants and residents of Seneca Falls. So over the next 15 minutes, we're going to be talking to Jeff Rook and Kevin Korzeniewski of It's a Wonderful Run. And good morning, fellas. How you doing on a Sunday morning?
Good morning, Jim. Doing good.
Morning, Jim. Thanks for having us in. We're real excited about the race this year. Our fifth annual. It's a Wonderful Run, and right now we have 3,500 registrants, and that is going up by the minute, like it always does. Our online activity has been very busy the past few weeks, so we're projecting around 4,000 registered. Last year we had 3,000 registered and about 2,800 finish, and so this year we could have as much as 1,000 more, and we're kind of excited and kind of nervous, so we thought we'd throw a little podcast together. You go to a lot of races, you get email blasts, and we will do our annual email blast, but with your services, and Jim's taking the time for us, he always does, for the past 5 years of this. He comes down on a moment's notice. We asked him Friday night, said, hey, Jim, do you mind doing a little podcast? He said, nope, no problem, and Jim volunteers his services. And we can't thank you enough for having us, because this is important stuff that I think our runners are very interested in.
We know a lot of people delete emails, don't read the emails, so we just thought we'd try a different venue and a different way of providing some information about race day and some of the things that will be going on, as well as what you should do when you come into town, where you should go, how things are going to work, because with, like Kevin said, 4,000 people, it's going to be tight in this little town. So I think the more information that we can get out, the smoother things will go, and we can make things go smooth.
And not even for just participants, but residents of Seneca Falls. This day is going to be, things are going to be a little different around town when you add 4,000 people to the population. So, well, it is amazing that the event keeps growing exponentially. We kind of thought maybe last year it topped out, how many more people. So, but this year there is a ton more, and who knows about next year. But let's focus on this year. What's the important things that everybody needs to know about?
Yeah, I'll start it off. First of all, the race starts at 4:40, so we're going to be prompt in our starting time. Make sure you get to the bridge area at 4:40. We'll talk about lining up in a few minutes, but 4:40 on Saturday, this Saturday, December 14th. December 10th, some other key dates to keep in mind. December 10th, this Tuesday, will be the last day to sign up online, to register online. We will still have a day of registration on the 14th, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But if you want to sign up previously and you want to, I want to say pretty much guarantee yourself a shirt, I think we're still pretty darn close to that level of the number of shirts that we have. But if you sign up by Tuesday, we're pretty sure you'll get one of the race shirts.
Yeah, definitely by tonight. You'll get a race shirt.
Right.
So if you're watching tonight, and you want a shirt and you get it in online tonight, we can probably guarantee a shirt.
Today being Sunday.
Yes,
yep.
It's Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, hopefully. Hopefully. This weekend, if you want to wait till Friday or Friday night or Saturday, we can't guarantee anything.
Right. When you come into town, parking, obviously with that many people, parking is going to be a huge deal. If you go to our website and all the information that we're talking about here right now, you can access at our website, www.itsawonderfulrun5k.com. And there is a tab on the website that says parking on it. And if you go to that tab, there are 10 lots that we put on a map that you can go to. And they're all within like a quarter mile of the start-finish line and of the rec center. They're very close by. Some lots are bigger than others, but we think with the combination of the different lots around town, some side street parking, as well as a shuttle that Kevin will get into in a second, there should be enough parking for everybody. Excuse me. The rec center will be closed on the parking lot will be closed on Saturday, so you won't be able to get directly to the rec center, to park on Saturday. So you want to hit one of these lots. You want to talk a little bit about the shuttle?
Yeah. We have a shuttle we started last year that we run from the Minders Academy High School, located on 95 Troy, I believe.
Yep, 95
is the
Troy.
Address that if you want to
GPS
put that in your GPS. And that starts at 2 and runs till 7 p.m. So, you can hang around in town for a little bit and pick up that bus back and forth to the high school, and they have plenty of parking over there. If you don't really want to deal with parking, you don't mind jumping on a bus.
It's about a mile away, so it's real close, and it's going to drop you off at the formerly Hotel Clarence, now the Gould Hotel.
Yeah, the Clarence has been changed to the Gould Hotel, so don't be confused with that, and that's where you can pick that up and drop that off. So we hopefully people will take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It starts to about race time, and then we'll run the shuttle after the race from like 5:30, I think, until 7.
Right.
O'clock.
And another thing, we do have taxi service in Seneca Falls, which is great, because we're a small little town, but we do, and you can get a taxi. I think it's American Way. The number is 568 taxi TAXI. So if you're staying at the Hampton Inn, or you're staying, you park far away, and you want to get a taxi, or
you want to hang out after
the
race,
you're having some fun after the race. I might be calling that taxi myself Saturday night. So that is available. The registration times Jeff talked about. You can register still for the race Friday night from 5 to 9, but the biggest part of the Friday night is the packet pickup. So if you live in the surrounding area, Geneva, Waterloo, Seneca Falls. I mean, some people do come down from Syracuse and Rochester to pick up. It saves you a lot of time and stress.
Helps us too.
Yeah, it helps us. But
Please come in on Friday.
As a runner myself, if I can have my packet, the night before, and your packet's going to include one bell for your shoes and your T-shirt, and we've kind of gone away from film bags and that sort of thing. But I know I always like to get my shirt ahead of time, so I don't have to worry about during the race. Sometimes I put it on. But more
importantly, your bib.
Yeah,
your
chip. You get your bib, and you get your shirt and your bell, and then you can just show up to the race anytime you want on Saturday. So from 5 to 9 at the rec center, you can come down and pick that stuff up. Saturday, you can start coming at noon, okay? And if you come at 11:30 to beat a line, you're probably going to wait, because we got a lot of work to do to get ready for this. So in the past few years, people have shown up at 4:30. A little bit before, and we're not ready, but it's 5 to 9, and it's 12 to 4. If you come down about 4:30 on Saturday afternoon, you might not be able to race with a bib and, a shirt for sure. But, you got to make sure you follow those times. Jeff said it. I want to say it again. We really like to start that race at 4:40. So make sure that you're aware of those registration times.
Now, 4:40, it's still a little light out, is bright out, and within the next 10-15 minutes the sun goes down.
About 5 minutes after that, it's dusk. 4:40 is dusk.
It is kind of really nice to start at 4:40 for that image, because you want to start in the daylight, and then it is amazing. It gets pitch dark by the end of the race with people running through town and all the lights and stuff. It's
yeah, and it's hard to organize 4,000 people or 3,000 or 2,000 in any race. If I go to a race with 150 people, I want it to start when it's supposed to start, because you have plans for the rest of the day, and you're away from your families, or you're with your families and you're meeting people. So,
do you ever have any issues with starting on time in the past 4 years?
We've started on time every year, which knock on wood, we hope to continue that this year. But a lot of that has to do with the runners, and our runners have been awesome and getting there on time and lining up in the appropriate places that we'll talk about soon. But so it's that dusk start is great. That's Jeff's brainchild. Starting at 4:40 is beautiful, because it's still light. Everybody can still get organized, and then it kind of gets dusk. And those fast runners are pretty much done before it's dark. But the majority of the runners are out there when it's dark, and it's something that people comment on every year out there, how that they love about the race. So, it makes it difficult to run a race at night, but I think it's one of the unique things that we kind of hang our hats on. If you're at the rec center, especially the day of the race, it gets kind of crazy down there. We have a band that plays in the gymnasium. Lock 52 band comes down and plays for us holiday music, and we have music outside. please stay out of the hallways. The last few years, people kind of line up in the hallways, and part of this is our fault. We sit down at the end of every year and say, what did we really screw up? And we screwed up a couple things last year. And one of the things that I did, we didn't have enough portaloos. Nobody had anywhere to go to the bathroom right before the race. And what happens is people wait inside and warm, and they run outside, and everybody's got to go to the race. And so there they are in the rec center parking lot, 30 deep. And we had a dozen. We're going up to 30 to 36 this year, and those portaloos will be in the front of the rec center where they were last year. We don't have a room for all of them, so we got to put some in the back. So there will be portaloos in the back. We'll have some signage, and there's 2 parking lots in the rec center. There's one in the front and one in the back on the east and west side of it. So if you see a line in the front by the portaloos, there's more in the back, and there are some restrooms you can use in the rec center, but stay out of the hallways for us, because it becomes unsafe and it's a fire hazard if anything was to happen. And
after you sign up, you can hang out in the gym like you said. We're going to have that Lock 52 band playing some Dixieland holiday music and stuff. So you're more than welcome to hang out in the gym if you want to, or if you want to walk around town. There's going to be a lot of events going on throughout town, and Kevin will get into that in a little bit. We'll both be getting into that in a little bit, but. Just try to, as Kevin said, just try to keep the hallways clear in the rec center.
Another thing, and a lot of things we're talking about now today, Jim, are about safety. We want people to have a great time, and we want people to be safe. We just don't want anything bad to happen.
You get nervous? 4,000 people, does it make you nervous?
Yeah, years 1 and 2 it wasn't a big deal, and years 3 and 4, I started getting real nervous about a week before. I feel pretty good this year. You're worried about 4,000 people. You're kind of responsible for all of them.
But you guys do, you obviously plan far in advance and think of contingencies, and you have the support of the local law enforcement, and so you guys have dotted your I's and crossed your T's. But 4,000 people it's a little intimidating if I was in charge of that.
Yeah,
you just never know what can happen. You never know what can happen, and you're always a little nervous about that. But you try to do, like you said, everything that you can to prevent something from happening. And
I think one of the reasons, too, why it works so well is because while there is going to be 4,000 people, it's a Christmas event. Everybody's in just such a good mood, and not the good mood that they're going to do some keg stands and funnels, and there's none of that. People do go out on the town after the race, but it's just a really good feeling down there around the start. There's a potential for trouble, I suppose, but you can't ever see that materializing with the mood everybody's in prior to the race.
Definitely.
Yeah, and when you're running at night, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was we have safety tape, which is reflective, and we have that for all our runners. And you can take a piece of tape to put on the back of your shoulders, and just to make sure that you're noticeable or visible to cars, because the entire course is not closed, and we'll talk more about the course in a minute. But make sure you put that safety tape on. The biggest thing, though, that I feel is that scares me is the staging of the race. So what that means is
this is important.
How do we start the race? So if you're watching, number one thing you should do, if you have a kid under 13, they should start off the bridge, down the hill, towards the rec center. Because a lot of times we see a lot of kids up front, and they're towing the line with bigger, older people that are trying to win the race. Now, last year we had some confusion with our awards. We told people that your awards were based on your gun time. And what your gun time is, when the gun goes off, no matter where you are, your clock starts and your clock finishes. Your net time is, if you start 4 minutes after the first person, it doesn't matter that you start 4 minutes off. The timing company takes that time away, and your time for the race is your net time. So
it doesn't matter really where you start. You can start in the back,
right,
and your clock does not start until you get to the finish line, and our awards will reflect that.
Our age group awards will reflect that. The only award that won't be reflected by that is the overall winner, male and female winners. But
unless you are thinking about winning the race,
don't
it
doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, right.
If you want to stay at, you want to go get something to eat at Parker's or Red's and wait about 10 minutes till you hear the gun go, you can walk down and then start the race. No, you can't do that.
Don't tell them that.
You can't do that. But
it is long, from the start of the race. Anybody that's watched the video of the race knows that when the race starts, the people come over the bridge for
5 minutes. 5
yeah.
plus minutes. We
So
timed
this
it.
year
Actually,
should be
last
a
year was
little
under
longer.
5. It was under. I remember.
It was just about 5.
It was like 4:40. I
Right,
remember.
right.
Just
So we're
under 5.
probably going to be like 5:30 this year.
Yeah,
and
we'll be a
that's-
little bit longer this year.
And that's one of the most amazing things about the race to see is just the people keep coming. 5 minutes
They
is
never
a
stop.
long
It
time
just
to
doesn't
stop
seem to
and see
stop.
people constantly coming over the bridge.
Right. And so that's our number one safety. Line up in the back. You got all these people coming, like Jim just said. It just never, they keep coming and they keep coming for 5 minutes. So if you're in the front and you get pushed or shoved and you get knocked down, it just is an unsafe scene because there's so many people. So line up according to where you feel you're run. Most of you people have ran 5Ks or walked a 5K, whatever you're coming to do. And you can go on and look at, Jim's got on our website, he's done a great job posting our results for the past 4 years. And you might say, hey, I won an age group award this year. I'm going to see what the fast times are for my age group. And you can go on and check our results and say, okay, if I run my 8:30 minutes like I usually do, I'm not going to get an age group. So it doesn't even, apply to me. I'm going to back up. So really, if you plan on winning the race, come on up in the front. If you run a 5:30, 5-minute mile, come on up in the front. 6 minutes, 6:30, maybe on the bridge.
Yeah.
If you don't have a 7-minute mile, if you're not running a 7-minute mile, you shouldn't even be on the bridge.
On the bridge, I agree. Right.
We will have signs.
And
Pay attention to the signs.
Right.
We have signs.
We're gonna have pace signs.
Yeah, we'll have volunteers out there holding pace signs up, and they'll be high in the air on the bridge. And if you look over and somebody next to you is holding a 6-minute mile pace sign, and you run a 9-10 minute mile, just walk
Back
to the
up.
back of the thing.
Back
If you
up.
can get to the back at that point.
Right.
The part, you don't have to be on the bridge until 4:30. If you're one of the faster people. And
Well, you should plan this out. Let's say you're a not a walker, but just a step ahead of me. You're going to slow jog. You're probably a 12 to 15 minute, maybe,
Probably 11 to 40. Yeah.
or whatever you should say. That. Where should they plan on
They
being?
should be down at the bottom of the bridge, almost
even almost to the rec center.
almost to the
parking lot.
rec center parking lot. Because what we're going to do is, obviously the start line is right on the bridge. It's going to start on the bridge. You're going to come down the decline, and you're gonna loop around over to the rec center parking lot. So I'm imagining this year that the walkers, you might want to line up the walkers, the people with carriages. The young kids who are
Right.
not we're going to go at a slow pace are going to be around the front of the rec center.
Yeah, and people love to bring dogs, and we do allow
Pets,
dogs.
sure.
Okay, and people bring their babies in their strollers, their jogging strollers. I've done it before for races. Line up in the back. Okay, we love that you're here, but you take up a lot of space, and those are the most dangerous things, are the dogs and the baby strollers. And your time will not, your net time will be what it is, no matter where you start. So line up in the back, give yourself some room, let some people get ahead of you. Don't get in that thick of things. That'll slow you down. Being around another 1,000 people, you're timing. Back it up a little bit and give yourself some room. Let that spread out before you get going, and that will really be how you get your best time. A lot of people say, well, you can't go to the It's a Wonderful Run and expect the PR, your personal record. And I disagree. You can if you just know how to do it or you've done it before. You plan it out and say, okay, I don't want to be in the front. Let everybody else go up in the front. I'm going to wait in the back and let people get moving. And it takes a while for those people to get moving. It takes 3 or 4 minutes. So be patient. Your time doesn't start till you cross the end of the bridge. There's the mats there, and you'll see it and you'll know. And that's when your official time starts. And if you're up there in the front or in the middle, it's people got to take that right-hand turn on Baird Street, and it becomes a bottleneck. So then you really got to slow yourself down. So that'll affect your time more than anything. Let everybody else kind of go and get behind.
Yep.
Yeah, and I can imagine too that once things do
Spread out
ahead of you, you can then make time and pass a lot of those guys that you let in front of you, because
Yep.
it does clear out. When does it clear out on the race? You go around that first right down Baird Street, then across another bridge.
Yep.
And at that point, does it?
I think it starts clearing out after talking to some of the runners. Once they take that right onto the Rumsey Street Bridge, on the other bridge,
Right.
that's kind of when it's fairly comfortable. That first, I guess, I don't want to say even quarter mile, maybe
tenth or two-tenths of a mile.
2/10 of a mile is when it's a little tight. But after about 2/10 of a mile, it kind of clears up nice.
And it gets better and better as the race goes on, as
Yep.
it thins out a little more, and then
Yep.
you become more comfortable.
A couple other things on regarding the race, going around the course. We do have Fall Street closed down, so when you come down through Fall Street, that will be blocked off to traffic. We do have volunteers throughout the whole course, and they will be holding traffic up. But I just want to mention, be careful. You never know what a car is going to do. So you never know when one might sneak in there, or someone comes out of their driveway or what have you. So be careful out there. Cuga Street, when you come down Cuga Street, which is the last, basically last half mile of the course, I'll say, last 3/4 of a mile. Cuga Street half the street will be blocked. There will be traffic in the other lane. They'll be going back and forth on Cuga Street. So I guess what I want to ask you is to stay to the right of the cones when you come down Cuga Street. Don't venture off into the outside the cones, because traffic will be coming one way or another. After the finish of the race, when you come down through the finish line chute, we're going to have about, I think, 250, 300 feet of chute area. Please make your way through the finish line. One good thing about this year is we don't have those little chips that we had to take off last year. So you don't have to stop and take off these little chips that were on your sneakers last year. You can just make your way. Everything's disposable this year, so you can kind of make your way through the chute. We're going to have water at the end of the chute, and you can go all the way through the chute.
You've made water. It 5K. Go the extra 20, 30 yards, get through the chute. Because I've been down there before, and sometimes people, as soon as they cross the finish line, hunch over and, and kind of sit there, or sometimes even talk to some family who are waiting for them. Get to the end.
Get to the end.
More people coming.
So it's smooth, so the people behind you can come through and finish strong.
Again, another safety issue. You know, just get out of the way. I'm glad we're glad you came. We're glad you finished strong, but keep walking to the end of the chute.
Right. Something new that I think is going to help even more this year is results texting. This year, if you go to our website tonight, I believe it'll be up. You can sign up for texting, where when you cross the finish line, we will send you a text telling you what your results are. So if you don't want to hang around, if you don't want to go in the gym, if you're not going to the awards ceremony, you can cross the finish line, grab a water, get your results via text, and if you want to go up and have dinner or hang out in town or attend another event that we'll talk about in a little bit, you can do that. So tonight is when you can sign up for it. Tonight being Sunday. Today's the 8th, December 8th.
Yep.
It should be up tonight, and it'll be up the rest of the week to sign up for results texting.
And that's something you have to go to the website.
Right.
You have to sign up for it. It doesn't happen automatically. So if you're not interested in it, it's fine. But you have to go sign up, and then that's important that people don't forget that you got to go to our site and sign yourself up, and then we'll text you, and Leon Timing will text you your results immediately after. So if you want to go to the race, you probably know you might not win an age group, and you want to just take off after. You can take off after and get your results. Normally what you do when you go to a race, and we'll still have this, is they take your results, they'll print out the first 100, and then we'll take them, we'll hang them on the wall in the rec center gym. We're going to do that still. And then we'll take the next 100, and as they come in, and Leon Timing gets us the results, we'll continue to hang them and hang them and hang them. But if you just want to get out of town, or you want to get out of the scene and you want to go get a bite to eat, go for it, and we'll text you the results. And this is going to happen pretty quick after. Within a few minutes.
Within a few minutes after you finish, you'll be receiving a text.
Yep.
The other thing is the QR code. There will be a QR code on your bib, and if you have an app to read QR codes, what that'll do is that'll take you to the results page of Leon Timing. So that won't necessarily give you your specific timing, your specific time right then. But if you go to the website, it'll take you right to the results page, and you can kind of look up yourself as soon as the results are posted after.
Right. That'll just take you to the results page. And Jim, you mentioned I don't have a smartphone. Maybe by Saturday I will. Probably a good idea at this point. But if you don't, you have a smartphone, you got to get an app for that. You can't just assume your smartphone reads a QR code, right, Jim?
Yeah, some of them do by default now. But if you search QR code in the Google or Apple store, then it's going to come up. And Google, I know, has probably the most well-known one. And it's built into a lot of other apps too, like Google, not Google Glass. What's it called? Well, Google Goggles, I think, is one, but just search QR code. It'll come in. It's simple. Not one app's not even really better than another. So
okay, all right. Awards ceremony. Okay, I'm going to get my awards up here this year. This is for the top 3. See how this looks on the camera. We went with the wine goblets. We have a gentleman that makes pottery for our awards. We've done it for all 5 years, and it's kind of unique and different. But if you win first, second, or third. First is going to get 100, second's going to get 50, third's going to get $25 dollars back, or an award for that. And you get a wine goblet here, and it's got our logo on it, and you can drink some of your new wine because
Put up a little higher.
A little higher, a little higher.
Yeah,
okay, there's the wine goblet.
Yeah.
All right there. And so if you win first, second, or third overall, female or male, you're gonna get a wine goblet and a bottle of wine. And we're gonna have the wine out to choose this year. So if you're dry red, choose some dry red. You like white. You like the Riesling from the Finger Lakes, and you're not from around here, grab some Riesling. We will have your choice of wine for you top 6 winners. And our age group winners every year gets an award. It's also doubles as a tree ornament because it's Christmas. So some people have really commented that they like the tree ornament. You can still hang it on your awards rack if you choose not to hang it on your tree. But this year it's an angel.
It's an angel.
And
move it from the awards rack to the tree for Christmas and move it back here.
That's right. So you got that if you're an age group winner, top 3. So stick around, come to the awards if you are you're close to placing, or I think the text will tell you if you're an age group award winner as well. If you sign up for that, you'll find out if you're an age group award winner in the award ceremony. And we like to start that right at 5:40. Those first few people that win the race, they're done in 15 minutes. So we don't like to.
Are there still runners on the course at 5:40?
Yep,
there'll be some walkers.
Yeah, there'll be some walkers, and it usually takes about an hour and 5 minutes to clear the course, maybe an hour and 10 this year because of the people. But we like to start it at 5:40 so we can get people out of here. And if you want to come in and just watch, come on into the rec center. There's cookies and hot chocolate and bananas and bagels, and there's some snacks there if you want to grab them. So if you want to watch that, come on in. We also are going to give furthest away a bottle of wine, and we'll contact that person. We've actually been in contact with her already. She doesn't know she's getting wine, but she's coming from England.
Well, that's going to be tough to beat.
That's going to be tough to beat. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming for the race alone, or she just happened to be?
She's from the central New York area. So she's been in London for a while, and she comes home this time of the year we talked to her. Scott Porter's doing an article in the paper tomorrow, and he thinks it's so big.
Finger Lakes Times.
Yeah, the Finger Lakes Times. He thinks he might get a 2-page, a double story. One on Monday, one on Tuesday, because there's been so many people that are coming from a distance, and they all have great stories. And this one,
this is a great story too.
This one individual is just kind of connected to the area, and she's had some loss in her family over the past couple of years, and I don't want to do too much of a spoiler for Scott's article for the local people. So I won't say too much about it, but it's about Christmas, and it's about family, it's about holidays, and that's what a race is about. It's small town Bedford Falls. It's a wonderful life themed. Be grateful for the things that you have, and when you don't have those things this time of the year, you kind of do something special to honor the people that you've lost. And we've got a lot of people with similar stories. So the girl from London is, nobody's going to beat her as far as distance traveled. I think she's in New York already. So there are some different awards. We might, and we still have to talk about this, but we might be giving some best dressed awards out, and we'll contact you on the day of the race. We're not going to have anybody line up or anything, but maybe if we see some really cool outfits, we'll invite you in for offer you a bottle of wine, which is being donated this year by Swedish Hill, which is Swedish Hill is about 8 miles out of town. They are open on Saturday and Sunday.
Great wine.
Great wine. One of my favorite wineries in the Finger Lakes. They do a great job.
And you guys get a tremendous amount of support from local sponsors for this event, which really helps make your job. You can offer more, I suppose.
We could just offer more. And starting from the top, Generations Bank is a huge sponsor. And I'm always interested into there's different types of sponsorship. There's people that directly are affected from our race. So if you're some sort of business that sells food, or people are going to come to your restaurant after, hotels, bed and breakfasts. I get that it's advertising, but there's just a lot of people in town that want to see a great event. Bonadent's another one. I mean, they're not going to sell any more teeth by giving us some help in the race, and Bruce Bonifiglia, Danielle, and Phil over there have been outstanding the last 5 years. we mentioned Jim Sinacropi here at Finger Lakes One. I mean, these people bend over backwards for us, and they just want to see the town shine that day, and it has for 5 years. So I
that's
think
why people want to do it. They're like, they want to keep this going. They appreciate what it does for the local economy. You know, in the middle of December here in Seneca Falls, we get a lot of people that come in the summer. A lot of people come for the wineries, but things slow down in the winter. Yeah. This event just gives a big shot in the arm to especially the local downtown businesses. And so when something is good and has been very successful, people want to get behind it and see it continue to be successful and grow. And that's what you guys are doing. You're continuing to grow.
And you just think about, you think about the numbers. You think with 4,000 people, if each of them spent $20.
$1.
I mean,
I know, $20.
$20, that's $80,000. That's input. And
they are spending probably least, on average at least
$20. You know what I mean? Right. It's crazy.
Right. Everything from the gas stations to the
hotels,
to the restaurants, to it's great.
Little gift shops downtown.
There's and our sponsors,
memorabilia.
Yeah. You can go downtown and shop, and they're doing business as well. And, we have Ferrara Lumber's been with us since year one. They donate and help us out with the race. And, they're not going to sell any lumber. But
I suppose if you are a runner, especially there's runners from Seneca Falls, obviously,
yes.
Tons of them.
Right.
And you have to make a decision to do it like a Ferrara Lumber or maybe go to another company who doesn't sponsor the race. You guys should consider the fact that they get behind stuff like this. And
absolutely.
And so, you can take a look on the right side of the website. It's a wonderful run 5K.com, and all the sponsors are right there. Take a look at those guys, and if you participate in the race, thank them when you see them. And if you have a chance to do some business with them, do it.
Right, because not only are they helping us race, but they're also helping a charity. We donate every cent to charity or scholarships. We give away a couple scholarships at the school. We started a donation page on our registration page for the scholarship. We're at $1,025 for that, and that's directly going to go to scholarships. And all those people that have donated $1 or $5 or $3 or $20 or $50, they've been coming in for the past couple months, and it's grown to $1,000. And we don't get the money. That money goes away, so it's a lot easier to donate when or sign up for a race and not even race it. We got a lot of people that we'll get 200-300 people that don't show up, but they know their money's going towards a great cause. So
and that's obviously with the number of people that are participating, the number of dollars that we're giving away is going up, and we donate to it's now almost, I think it's 25 different charities, and they're all local charities. I mean, the Seneca County House of Concern is our big one that we donate the most money to, but there's 25 other charities that we're giving away, all local charities. So
that's great. And you mentioned that if everybody spends $20 each when they get into town, all these donations and stuff is before that,
right? That's an addition.
It really is a huge economic boon. Now, are you guys set for volunteers? You need more volunteers? How's the volunteer situation?
If you want to volunteer, we've got a lot of great people helping out Friday night and people during the week. And if you're interested in volunteering around the race or during the race, you can still email us at It's a Wonderful Run 5K at hotmail.com. We love help, and if you want to do that, you can let us know on our Facebook page as well. We do have It's a Wonderful Run Facebook page. We're on Twitter too now. We're not real active with it, but we're trying. Saturday might be a big Twitter day for us.
Well, listen to all you racers out there. These guys are now on Twitter. And the one question I've been asked is, what do we do with Twitter? And I said, well, once you develop a bit of a following, it's going to become a real tool to help you communicate with racers, especially even on race day. If there's a last-minute change, at 4:30, and you can send a tweet out, it will get to these folks. And so if you are participating, follow these guys on Twitter. What's the Twitter handle? I guess we should have known that.
What are you talking? I can find out by the end of the podcast. Yeah, it's about Wonderful Run 5K. If you search that,
if you go to the website, it's on there.
Oh, yeah, it's on the front page of the website.
It's on the front page of the website.
Before you come, hook up on Twitter if you're a Twitter user, and then we're going to make sure that Tina is able to send a few tweets out maybe that day.
Sure.
And then I think you guys will really see the value of Twitter in helping you with this event. 4,000 people. Even a bullhorn isn't enough to communicate with them all.
Right. So. And while we're on sponsorships, one sponsor that's been with us since the beginning is Red's Place, the Von Bergen family, local family here in Seneca Falls. They've every year gratuitously donated a lot of beer to our runners. Some runners have taken too much of the beer, but we won't mention names. And you can go down after with your race bib and grab a beer down there at Reds. They offer one free beer with a race bib, and they'll have food. And last year they had food out, I think, for a little bit, a half hour for free. And, we go down there after the race when we get done cleaning up. And speaking of volunteers, we love to have volunteers clean up. So even if you run the race and you're watching, you say, hey, I can help clean up for a little bit, starting around 6 o'clock, 6:15. The more help we get then,
the faster we do it.
What type of cleanup are you talking about?
We try to we give out water bottles. We try to clean up the rec center. The rec center, doesn't charge us anything to be down there, so we try to clean the rec center the best that we can. We
start finish line. We've got speakers, and we've got a whole bunch of shoot material that we're going to have this year that we're going to have to clean up. So
it's like Christmas morning. You spend months wrapping everything and putting everything together, and then it's all opened and within an hour, and then you're just left with a big mess. And
right.
We got to throw boxes away and bananas and water bottles and cookies
right.
and we got to clean up. We have a detail already cleaning up the course. They go around, pick up the cones and the signs. And Jeff's dad does that, and he is a well-oiled machine. He does a phenomenal job for us. I don't know what we would do without him. So you can still do that, but Red's Place afterwards, if you don't want to help clean up and you want to start to celebrate your holiday party a little bit.
And there's also a lot of other stuff going on. Another website I'd like to mention is www.therealbedfordfalls. That's basically It's a Wonderful Life Festival website, and there's a calendar in there that goes through a bunch of stuff that's going on. There's going to be It's a Wonderful Life plays. They're gonna do showings on the big screen of It's a Wonderful Life, the movie, with a preliminary introduction by Zuzu and Janie, and there's just a lot of other things going on. So if you're coming into town on Friday or early Saturday, come down, get your race stuff, and go participate in some of the other events that are going on around town.
Yeah, and I guess the best way to do that would be to come early on Saturday, on race day. Give yourself some time. Friday, spend the night. Then there's going to be stuff going on like crazy, but
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And if you just stroll the streets of downtown Seneca Falls, on any of those times, you're going to be amazed at all the stuff that you see. Especially if you're a big fan of the movie, I guarantee you're going to have a great time.
Yep.
So
no doubt. Some other things we have real quick, an online store. So if you want to get some gear, you want to get some It's a Wonderful Run gear, you can go to our online store and buy some stuff. We'll also have that stuff for sale on race day.
Another thing too, if you're not running in the race and you're looking for a last-minute gift for someone who is running in the race, imagine their surprise on Christmas morning when they open up present and it's a Wonderful Run sweatshirt or It's a Wonderful Run hat,
great
a scarf.
Gift. We got some beautiful beanies, some scarves, some gloves, some sweatshirts and hats, and
nice
we got
jackets.
A lot of good gear on there. And if you get any of that, if you've already registered, if you registered 2 months ago, we didn't have that up. We've only had that up for about 4 weeks. Probably 3 weeks. And we've sold a lot of stuff already. People have really seemed to like it. And when you sign up, or if you have signed up already and you want to go check out that online store, you'll have that at packet pickup.
Yep.
So when you come to the packet pickup, Joe at Top Stitch will be there, and you give him your name and tell him what you ordered, and he'll take care of that. We're also doing the pint glasses. If you signed up for the Forever Young 5K and you're doing our race, you're local, or and you've done both races, we got a pint glass for you with both labels on it.
That's cool.
That's free. That doesn't cost you anything except the 2 registrations. So make sure you do that. Some people forget to do that. Each year it gets kind of crazy down there in the rec center, but we will have a table or booth for your pint glasses. But check out that online store. We got some nice merchandise on there. We feel really good about
it.
It's
nice jackets.
Real quality
really
stuff,
nice
and
jackets,
you can get stuff for $12, and some of the stuff's a little bit more expensive. But beautiful, those beanies. People love the beanies, little red and white candy cane striped hats. I imagine we're going to see a lot. I imagine we're going to see a lot of those on race day.
Those are going like hotcakes.
Jim, I did find out our handle. It's called for Twitter.
Right.
It's at Wonderful Run 5K.
Wonderful Run 5K. So obviously, any Twitter user knows how to connect. Follow them. You might want to follow them back and get this whole Twitter thing going. It's going to be a couple years from now. You're going to find
we
it's
follow
a huge
them back,
tool.
so they get on. They say we.
Well, if they follow you, it's nice to follow them back because then what will happen is when they start to tweet out stuff during or after the race or the next, you're gonna get it. you're going to see
Okay,
it. It's a great way to get feedback. It's a great way to get live feedback. Pictures being taken. I mean, I know a lot of people on Facebook, you probably go through after the race and see what, and people are posting videos to YouTube and stuff, and it's awesome. But Twitter will kind of like aggregate all that stuff together for you, and it'll just be a good tool. And I'm sure that a good portion of those 4,000 runners are on Twitter. So
once I get my smartphone, I'm all over that Twitter account.
Christmas is coming this year.
That's right.
Just a couple. We talked about the sponsors and the thank your volunteers when you're running around the course. Support the sponsors, like Jim said. They're on the right hand side of our website, and just sponsor those guys. Again, be careful. The weather. We don't really like to talk about the weather beforehand, but we're expecting a little bit of snow during the week, so we might have a little bit of a snow cover come race day. And we have that final hill right before the finish line. There's a decent decline coming into the finish line. So be careful on that. We don't want to see anybody go down and hurt themselves. So
and that's a popular question: is what do we do with inclement weather? You know, and really, if we get some snow the day before, the day of, and
all the better for the participants.
Right.
I think maybe not for you guys.
No, it's not. But we're going to have the race until Seneca Falls Police Department and the town of Seneca Falls, the highway department, probably Don Wood, would say, guys, we got to
shut
it's
it
not
down.
safe.
Right.
And it would take a significant amount of snow, because as long as that course is plowed, even if it is snow covered, you're going to have to just be careful. And the race would go on. So the only case I think where maybe it would be canceled is blizzard-like conditions where the plows can't even get to the roads.
Right.
I mean, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. That's what we'd hope. I mean, we do races. I do road races and triathlons, and if there's any lightning and thunder, the race is canceled. I don't get any money back. I don't get my time in. I've trained for all this, and it stinks. I mean, that's the hard part of it. When you do enough, you understand things happen.
Right.
But we're going to try our best, and Jeff and I, we will. They're going to have to plow us over in order for us to stop this race, but we will listen.
The bottom line is it's the police department's call in the end. So, but we'll do that.
And another thing too is don't order a pizza during the race if you're local and you're watching.
Yeah,
that's true.
We had some things. And I did talk to 2 local pizzerias and say, hey, listen, if you get any orders between 4 and 6, you might want to tell them it's going to be tough to get around town, that they might want to make some ramen noodles or something that night.
Or if you're going, and the thing is, it's not like a total inconvenience or anything for residents who have to get someplace. Just plan ahead. And, the race course is posted on the website. So if you live in that area and you need to get out, get out before 4:30. And
I think people are starting to learn. The first couple of years was tricky, but as it goes on, the race is on this year. The race is bigger this year. So
most people, though, that live on the race love it. They actually participate. They come out to the side of the road. Some have water for everybody. Some play Christmas music. Some ring bells and just watch people go by. So I think the first couple of years you may have had some people like wondering what this would be like, but I think most of all the residents along the route have really bought in. And I love especially coming down Cuga Street. Some of those houses look right now. You know what I mean, with the lights, and those are old school It's a Wonderful Life houses, like the kind that George and Mary refurbished. And a matter of fact, one of those on the left hand side of Cuga Street, as you're heading back towards downtown, is like supposedly the house.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Is the house. It says, I think it's the last one on your left is when they go on the row.
And it looks really, really nice this year. They got candles in the window, big wreath up top. So
and we need more. I think it was Christopher Walken on Saturday Night Live. We need more cowbell.
More cowbell. More
we
cowbell.
Need,
more
we,
lights.
We need more lights. Local residents. We need more lights. And
if you live on Baird Street, Rumsey Street, Chapel Street, State Street,
on the race course,
Cuga Street,
set your yard on fire.
Turn them on at 4:30.
Yeah,
turn them on early.
Get them on early and get out there. The runners love. I mean, they come back and they say, "We love the lights. We wish there were more." There's so many people out there. We talk about him every year, but Bachman gets out there.
Rock with Bach.
He's a former DJ, or I don't think former DJ. I don't think he does much of it anymore. Is he still DJing?
Yeah, he still does that,
And he's out there DJing, and every runner comments on Bach. Mile 1, the guy playing the music is awesome, and he creates quite a little party scene up there. In fact, Bach, if you're watching, we're going to be dropping off a bottle of wine to you as well, because you've been awesome. So. I know we said 15 minutes, and I think we're going on a little bit longer than that.
A couple of hours, 2-3 hours.
Maybe we said 50. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot to cover.
There's a lot to
you know
cover.
what? If I'm coming to this race, I want to know this stuff, and I'd be more than happy to sit back and and listen to all this, because it's the type of event that I think people can't get enough of. Do a lot of work, and then race day comes, and then an hour it's over. But it's just so much more than that. I think people can't get enough.
And if you do have questions, if anybody out there does have a question, I think Kevin mentioned it before, email us at wonderfulrun5k@hotmail.com. That's our email address.
Or you can call Tina Rook at 315-56. She'll answer all your questions for you.
But we'll be checking the email religiously. We'll get right back to you if you do have any questions or comments or whatever. So.
Do we cover everything?
I think we did.
And more.
Yeah,
we asked for 15 minutes of your time, Jim, and I think you gave us about 50, so we appreciate it again.
Well,
and Finger Lakes won.
Yep, thank you. I'm, like I say, glad to just be associated with such a great event. So many events come and go over the years here, and with varying success, and this is one of the most successful I've ever seen, and the fact it comes in winter,
Right.
That's the most amazing part of it.
Yeah, people get nervous about that. People that are doing their first 5K or their first 5K in sub 40, 50 temperatures, they're like, I don't know what to wear. And I think once you get out here, it's, you get going, and then you realize, hey, we can run in the winter. Jeff said he just saw people running the course. There was about 15, 20 people. We're not sure what group they were with, but must have been a group. And I noticed people running around town more in the winter these days, and they make the appropriate gear. You can warm right up once you get about a mile in.
If you want some ideas, if you've never come to this race before and you just really want to see what it was like, watch one of the past race videos. By last year's probably the one that'll be most accurate because there was so many people.
Right.
Take a look at that. You'll see what people are wearing, and it's not all race gear. There's reindeer helmets, hats. There's elf costumes. There's
Spider-Man.
Santa Clauses. Yeah, Spider-Man.
There's all sorts of things. So check that out. And the race is on Saturday at 4:40 p.m. Arrive early. Arrive one day early, and prepare to stay late and spend some time in the real Bedford Falls,
That's right.
Seneca Falls, New York. So
I love it.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for all you do, and
Thanks,
good luck
Jim.
with the event. And I'll see you guys down there. I'll be around there. I'll be the one with the video camera on Saturday. So if you want to make the official race video, look for me.
Jim.
Yeah,
Jim will have the video.
All right, guys. Good luck, and I can't wait till Saturday. And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thanks, Jim.
See ya.